Good morning, good morning, good morning. You guys ready to rock and roll? Look at this. Look at that. That's a lot. So, and look at this. And look. So, don't get mad at me. I'm trying to get to you as soon as I can, guys. So hang in there. I really appreciate you all and appreciate what you're all doing. It's fantastic. I love your comments. I love to see what you're doing on yourselves. I think that I think Kelly's doing a good job. Wonderwise, come on and let's enjoy the future here. Gonna have a lot of fun. Gonna learn a lot of things, and really gonna heal a lot of people. That's good, isn't it? All right, so let me tear into this here and get to your questions further, because I might have all morning with you. So if you can bear me, I'll be with you for a couple hours here or more, because I think we have a lady who haven't got any paperwork on her, and she's from overseas somewhere, and so I don't know yet. Okay, so I want to kind of polish up here on some things, and then we'll go forward. This is from Jacqueline, and let me see here. She was diagnosed with hypothyroidism when I was 12, and she's 22. She was diagnosed with polycystic ovarian failure. Basically, she has little tumors or cysts on the ovaries. Now, what system does cysts and tumors develop from? The lymph system. We could say pretty much the interstitial fluid, the fluid that flows around all the cells, is basically what most tumors and cysts are made of. 25% blood, 75% lymph. Now, a lot of tumors are predominantly lymph. There's a gnarly website Brenda found. Oh, man, this will gross you out. I won't even tell it to you. But there's this big cyst on this guy's back. Oh, that was gross. That was gross when she was cutting it. And, oh, that was bad. That even grossed Chris out. And Chris watches those chainsaw cut your head off videos. It's like, oh, man, that got him. So I was real happy to see that got him. Not much gets him that way. You'd be surprised. Premature menopause. Well, looky here, premature menopause. The controlling of menopause is controlled by the pituitary and the ovaries, of course. Pituitary controlling the ovaries. So here we see a little thyroid up here. We see an ovarian failure here. So we could link this to one's pituitary gland. You know, you'd have to do a little more fishing and stuff. If you have a camera, you can see it right off in the eye. But this is, the polycystic problem is a lymphatic problem, which goes right back to the kidneys and the adrenal glands again, and the failure to filter the lymph system appropriately. But when you get into the premature menopause and the hypothyroidism, that's an endocrine gland issues. We're going probably up to the pituitary here, my guess is. I quit taking medicines and went raw in February. Good deal. This blood work shows normal thyroid levels. Good deal. Blood work, though, is very inaccurate in determining thyroid levels and stuff. Do your basal temperatures under your arm. Like one gentleman wrote in, his was 95. Horrible. But check your basal temperatures under your arm before you get out of bed in the morning. They should be, in today's world, give me 97.5, but 97.8 is considered low normal, 98.2 high end normal. But reality is, in today's world, mid-97s, that would be good. The iron levels are low. There's the adrenals again. Hematocrit is low. Again, by cleaning up your body, cleaning up the liver, cleaning up the spleen, cleaning up the kidneys, and moving the lymphs, getting the adrenals up, you'll change the morphology of your blood cells. And this is true in sickle cell anemia. This is true in all these types of irregular red blood cell issues where iron doesn't carry well. Eating an enzymatic-rich diet helps to break up the blood cells from clustering or following each other like choo-choo trains. All these things come and change all this around. Billy Rubin was also slightly high. She was jaundiced when she was born, so you know immediately you had GI tract problems, and you're seeing a lot of this liver gallbladder problems in these babies. Remember I told you the poor young lad that he couldn't digest his high fat, high protein, crazy formulas, and so they tied his stomach around his esophagus to stop him from throwing up. That's the illustrious AMA for you. Keep plugging away on the cleaning out the system. I have more energy now than I had before. I have opinion to get oxygen therapy. You can have some oxygen therapy. I don't care. I mean, you know, sit yourself in a hyperbaric chamber every once in a while. I mean, that would be good. She's 22 and unemployed. I get so many of these, and I do appreciate that. Try to get the Heal All tea, 3-lung tea, really start detoxifying that way. Hopefully in the near future we'll have a source of income that will help those that have no money. This would be the ultimate, all these billionaires running around giving money to ridiculous charities that don't do anything. Hi, Robert. I forgot to say in the last minute that I am very thirsty. Same lady, Jacqueline. I don't know if I correspond with anemia, but I drink lots of water and consistently feel like I am dehydrated. Well, because you are. You are. You're very acidic. Go back to the jaundice thing. Your lymph system is very impacted in your GI tract and in your liver. Probably head to toe, sweetheart. So, I mean, because we're looking at inklings of issues in the pituitary, down in the ovaries, of course. So, really systemic lymphatic problems. So, just start detoxing. Really get after those kidneys and adrenals, and do the best you can. When you don't have the money, you use teas. And again, we're trying to set up ways to help people. But you can always do the raw. You can always do the teas. You can always do things like that. Contact Jennifer if you're having very serious financial trouble and see if anything she can do. You know, we're limited in being able to help people like that. And we've already kind of working on kind of a thin margin, and then you see our crew here. We don't charge for their assistance. So, you know, there's a lot of wealthy people out there that need to start giving to help some people. Create some good karma. I thought that was interesting. Casey Anthony's prosecuting attorney the other night last night was talking about he believes in karma. I like that. Any suggestions? This is from Vigan Ramamgu. Any suggestion for those like me who have strong allergies to poison ivy and oak? Well, when you start detoxifying, don't freak out if you re-experience poison ivy if you had it before. I've seen this many times. First time freaked me out. My client taught me a lesson. She had poison ivy popping out all over. She said, "Oh no, this is the detox. I've had this in the same places before," and I hadn't even related detox to pulling these acids out of these tissues from the plant. So, yeah. I mean, this just shows the lymph system. Whenever a spider bite, an ant bite, a bee bite, poison, you know, acids on oils from plants and stuff irritate you that much, then you know you have heavy lymphatic problems. Categorize it under allergies, if you will. It's still a lymphatic problem. That's your main immune system, and when the lymph system's backed up, boy, you're there. And it's kind of like a tank being pumped in with more pressure than it can handle. You know, it just really is a problem. So, sweetheart, kick it up there, moving your lymph system. She was, they always want to give her steroids. So the problem with the steroids, as you know, is you'll start losing your adrenal glands. You lose your adrenal glands, and you lose your kidneys more, and then your kidneys back up your lymph even more, and it's a vicious circle. And these guys just don't get it. They're trying to help. I respect that, but sometimes help, ignorant help, can make things so much worse. Also, what causes appendix? And this is a twofold question because I had another person ask me about the appendix. Keep in mind the appendix is part of the lymph system to the colon, and this would tie in perfect with you with the heavy lymphatic problems here, and you're having some appendix issues. I'll say this. Someone asked me about whether you have your appendix removed or not. Well, I put it this way. If your appendix is the point of decay, and basically it's turning into soup, which is your lymph node. It's a big lymph node, and it holds acid waste. And acid waste can break down the lymph nodes just like it can break down any other tissue in the body. The poor lymph nodes aren't free from that. That's why the benefit of bacterium. And then when you see things like this, a lot of people are subjected to a lot of antibiotics killing systemic bacteria, which is insane. And so then you start having, the lymph nodes have no way to clean themselves. And of course, if there isn't a movement and a filtration of this fluid, then you're going to see stagnation of acids, and then we see acidosis, dehydration, and then inflammation, of course, and then the destruction of tissue. And that's exactly what's going on with the appendix. If your appendix isn't that bad and highly inflamed, get into cleaning up the bowels and the lymph system. This is about the lymph system. So you've got kidneys, you get your adrenals, you get your stomach and bowel, lymphatic 1 caps, if you can tolerate them with that much inflammation, and pull all this out and get your lymph moving out of that appendix and let it heal. If not, you know, sometimes surgeries are very necessary. I don't know what to say about it. Sometimes you just got to go under the knife. It's just the nature of where man is today. So that's where you really protect yourself under the knife, because they're going into a very acidic, very inflamed area, and that's where you're going to see scar tissue adhesions growing in those areas because they're highly inflamed, they're very weak, and the body has to support that tissue. So it's going to build a lot of additional tissue in that area to support that area. It's just the nature of nature. It strengthens itself by getting rid of its weaknesses. So this is the process of detoxification as well. It's building strength by getting rid of the garbage and the weaknesses. So you have to go the same route here no matter what. And you guys are going to find the simplicity of this is staggering. Almost amazing to me that the link here to everything deals with the one side of chemistry that's the corrosive side, and the one major fluid that deals with this side of chemistry. There's no question that the diet can tear the blood a new one, but that's easy to remedy. Lisa, yeah, get into your GI tract there, sweetheart, and really got to kick up. Expect some healing crisis there, sweetheart. Poison ivy could pop out all over. You know, the steroids pretty much just locked all that in you and said, okay, you know, I'll be back. But what happens is when you open this door, honey, boom, you might want to go slower on the lymphatic formulas and a little more on the kidney formulas at first, and see if you can get those kidneys opened up before it has to explode too much. And maybe you'll be lucky and it won't. So, but just don't freak out if it does, because this is part of the issue here. And some people are so lymphatically backed up, you have to realize that they could explode almost, you know, with this lymph. So sometimes it's easier to go slower at first with these people, especially if you're not full of cancer and you're not dying, or you're not, you know, dealing in extreme pain and stuff where you really got to get up on the horse and run. So really, might go a little slower first. It's up to you. If you're going to honk down the road, might go a little slower first. It's up to you. If you're going to honk down the road, expect anything, and you'll be okay though. Just realize it's the body cleaning itself, a very essential issue for you. And this other person, who is this asking me about this? This is Harlem, about the appendix too. Same thing. You can use any type of oil, castor oil preferably, and put some castor oil packs on here and see if, even though heat isn't advisable in inflammation, because heat with heat, but still, if you put heat down that area, you could put some ice packs over that area, but I would also drive some castor oil in that area, very soothing, anti-inflammatory. You could take some anti-inflammatory like inflammation joints to help in that way, but it's still about a stagnant lymph system, and that means stagnant acidosis, and that could mean a lot of pain and breakdown of tissue. Be smart though, because if the appendix pops, you want to get yourself right along to the ER and have them do their thing. Oh, you like my senator, Andre? Yeah, that thing was heavy, but boy, it was cold that morning. It was no, when it's 70 here, it's cold. No, it was like in the low 60s. For some of you, that's probably pretty warm. I know. I never did like cold. Even growing up, I hated that. Indiana cold weather. Actually, what I hated most, probably, if I could use that word, is the gray skies. You know, it's so depressing. It's just like living in a prison, you know. This is 1122. Gretchen, infinite love to you. Same, my dear. Resubmission video 68. I was diagnosed in 07 with type 1 diabetes. Before that, I had gestational. That with third pregnancy, A1C norm year later, but then 6 months later up to 8.3. I have come to see this as a needed blessing. Good deal. I love fruit. I do. Do I cut back on the insulin? Does my body get used to the insulin injections? I tell you this, use the pancreatic formula. I put herbs in the pancreatic formula that control blood sugar, both low and high. However, type 1 is a pancreatic issue. Now, a beta cell issue. Now, here's the thing, and I've talked about this before. This could be a neurological type 1. That would take it back to the adrenals. You're always going to work on the adrenals irregardless. Those glands are essential to work on. I could probably be pretty close to accurate if I said 99.999% of all Homo sapiens have some degree of adrenal weakness. I'd probably be real accurate. And I could probably say probably 50% of humans or more have chronic adrenal problems. And that's serious in so many ways. Neurotransmitters, steroids. These neurotransmitters are for your autonomic nervous system. That controls beta cell production of insulin, breathing, heart rhythms. You know, this is everything. This is the stomach and solar plexus. And I talked about this yesterday. When you have stomach problems, you can have autonomic nerve problems. Added to that with the adrenals. So this is a real important issue. The fact that you're kind of swinging like this, you know, clean the lymph system always, because it's the lymphatic system in the pancreas can shut down beta cell production of insulin. Neurological type 1, obvious. So either way, you're going to get into the adrenal glands. You want to use the pancreatic formula anyway. You want to stay raw as much as possible, fruits and especially if you're having a hard time producing insulin. I've proved this over and over again, some of the theories that about fructose, but I can tell you fructose in a type 1, once you get through flipping and glucose, what I call glucose loading, you're going to see your blood sugar stabilized on fruit. Once in a while I have a real brittle, but I've been able to, with insulin pumps and everything else, even the brittle's been able to control it with fruits and vegetables. What you wouldn't do is protein or starch. Right? Those are big no-nos with all blood sugar problems. But they're no-nos for health anyway. You know. So really going that way. But always move on your lymph system, sweetheart, and you'll be fine. On the insulin, I can only tell you, not my field, and so we don't want to make any medical doctors mad because they don't help you much, sorry. But you would not want to give yourself the same dosage of insulin if your blood sugars are coming down, now would you? That could be serious, and I'll highly, highly warn you that if you do, if you don't, you could end up into a diabetic coma. It happened to one of my clients, and she didn't listen to me. I told her, you must monitor your blood sugar because there's two facts for sure in this program. Your blood sugar and your blood pressure is going to come down to normal. Some quicker than later. I had an RN in Miami who was 40 units in the evening and I think 40 or 40 some in the morning. And in 1 week she had to stop him. She said, I cannot believe this. This is freaky. So some people quicker than others. There's others that are just pulling my teeth out when it comes to type 1, and yet there's others that just go right on down the road and do it. So when there's genetics involved and everything else, you just take your time and rebuild. The older you are when you see type 1, you can pretty much figure either lymph or nerve, you know, two causative factors. And so you really just start rebuilding the body and keep your sugar simple. But in most hospitals, they don't give insulin until 200. So, and generally they only give 5 to 10 units when your blood sugar's 200. So keep that in mind. Someone wrote me and they're on metformin, same type of thing, but they're type 2. Well, type 2 is the adrenal glands. Type 1 can be the adrenal glands, remember, when it's a neurological type 1. How do you know the difference? Good question. Can't say that I know, except that you notice your problems post-surgeries with the anesthesia, or maybe like in your case, sweetheart, where you see it flipping, perhaps that. Good question. So you guys are getting good questions here, and I really appreciate that. Helps everybody out. Let's see, this is Six String. Hey, Six String, I felt a pain in my chest that felt like a minor heart attack. I felt weak. I thought it was a pulled muscle in my chest. I spoke to someone who lost weight on your program who said she had the same symptom, and a doc told her it was a type of healing crisis. Well, I'd have to know more about chest and where it is in the chest and that sort of thing. You know, when you're pulling on the lungs in detox, you can have a lot of pain. Stomach can give you pain, and sometimes if you build up gas can mimic heart attacks, and there is silent heart attacks, no question about it. But doubt it in a detox is possible, but doubt it in a detox situation. But again, I mean, when you're talking about the movement of lymph, you're talking the movement of toxic chemicals, the movement of neurotoxins, you're talking about the movement of stagnant acids. So any type of reflex is possible. Any type of little spasm is possible to go through, especially when the body moves something, moves the lymph, and that lymph has been in that area pulling calcium and everything else. The area is highly spastic in the first place, or pre-spastic. Yeah, you could have some spasms like that. But remember, if you feel like you're having a heart attack, you rub this part of your left hand clockwise, and on the bottom of your foot, right over here, here's your pad in your foot, you're going to rub right here in the heart area, and that'll relieve. You can also rub right here in the heart area clockwise, and that'll give you some relief. And if someone's in a heart attack, you grab those spots and work on them, and you'll pull them out of it. Done it 3 times. I've been eating a lot of grapes for about a week or so for the arthritis in my hands. The only problem is, yeah, I'm really hungry. The pain is in my hands is better. Well, it just shows you you're moving lymph there. Well, have your salad at night then and see if that'll do, or just have just a ton of grapes. This can be real strong. And especially in these cold, darker winter nights, that's why I kind of say through the winter, you might have to, you know, might have to do a salad, do some warm herbal teas and things like that to warm you up. If you still feel hungry, maybe do use some steamed vegetables or a baked sweet potato. It's going to slow you down a little bit, but that's why the next morning you get up and you do fruit all day long, and then at night maybe you slow up a little bit. If you can start getting relief doing that, then you'll be good through the winter and everything is good. But you're doing a good job. This is L-I-E-N. Lean. This is, you're doing a good job, though. Proud of you. Good job. I mean, no one said this was easy. You know, for some it is, because for some it's like jumping into a nice pool of warm, beautiful, refreshing water. It is for me because I love this way of life. I love fruits. I love berries. I love melons. I love my salad. So when someone says, oh, this is hard, I say, well, what's tough about it? I love all those foods. I mean, because, you know, I started out tough, yeah, you know, farm boy, steaks, meat, you know, all of that stuff, and yeah, but I was really right for it because I don't like to suffer. And I've always suffered with sinus and lymph problems. So I just, whoa, this sounds good. You know, most spiritual people are going to dive into it when they know it's rings of truth and spirituality and growth. Yeah, you're going to make a dive into that pool. But for some, you want to, but it's tough with the self-disciplines and everything. And I totally understand that, and I'm compassionate and on your side. Had I not had my life up and down, I probably would have sit here and banged on your head. Get with it, go, go. You know, it's like I've lost clients before like that, and it's like, no, I believe in balance. I believe in us all helping those that are weaker through this till they get stronger, and then they can help people that are weak get stronger, and that's what we're here for. We're here to have love on this website, and I really want us to get that way. If we have our differences, you know, we mend them and go on. Who cares? We got to be like the children of life who maybe get in a little spat and then, okay, and then go right on. And most of you have been able to do that. So we need to all do that, including Wonder Why, sweetheart. Let it go. Come back and enjoy us. We enjoy you, Kelly. All of us, get good, get going. I just really love what you're doing. I feel like I've done a good job at putting this site up for you. I don't have any regrets doing that. This has just been a real help for me, and a little bit of work, but really, I just love you all. Julia, got your thing here. Nuking, I love the way you talk. Nuking the fungus with Parasitium. You're a cutie. Yeah, you know, that's basically what you got to do. Sometimes you might have to stay on Parasitium for a while, but you know what? You nuke those funguses. Clean your lymph system up there. It was funny. Thanks for the, we've tried, you know. I think when you look at companies, we get a lot of companies and their products are broken and they're wrapped bad, but if you look at the care we've done, we decided years ago that we were going to try to be impeccable with our wrapping. Sometimes we'd like to have better stuff because, you know, flashier labels and stuff like this, you know, but everything's very expensive. We never did have any backers. We started out in the kitchen, hand pumping these herbs. I'm telling you, we started from the very basic. I had the company in our garage for a long time. I mean, we've been in a lot of places, you know, and so getting better. But this is funny. You make me laugh. Good job, Julie. Oh, let's just see. Superhuman. I was wondering if you, Robert, or any other here have been on a raw food, primarily fruits, for a long time, can commit more in regards to feeling cold. Yeah, I will say that Julie. Oh, let's just see. Superhuman. I was wondering if you, Robert, or any other here have been on a raw food, primarily fruits, for a long time, can commit more in regards to feeling cold. Yeah, I will say that I've got more weight on me now, and I feel pretty hot. But when I started really channeling more of what I consider the God force, I started heating up, and I get extremely hot. I mean, I burn sometimes, and hard to be around me then. I'm on fire, so that warmed me up. But if you're just on fruits and stuff, yeah, you can get that way. But check your thyroid out. If you get your thyroid pumping pretty good, you should be pretty moderately well. I think, though, and realistically, the colder winter environments are definitely hostile to Homo sapiens. Truly, our species is a tropical species. Subtropics, which is Florida, that's about the farthest north one, really, you know, California maybe, but I tell you that to eat well, someone just made this comment earlier, and just, I had to, what was this, YFABU. Me too. I'm standing in the produce section in Publix looking at all the fruit and veggies, and I'm saying to myself, I'm literally starving here. I'm really not polarized to the vegetable matter too much. I'm the fruit, the berries, and the melons. Well, here's the blueberries, $6 for a little bitty container. The watermelons are horrible. The bananas aren't ripe. The organics look horrible. I bought some organic oranges just to see, and man, they tasted as bad as the ones that weren't. Someone said our oranges right now are from South Africa or somewhere in Africa, but possible, you know. It's, but I'm with you. I'm starving. You know, it's horrible. Now you do the best you can. Oh, Indonesian man, he's lucky. A lot of gurus talk about feeling cold. Yeah, once you start pumping God, though, once you get your consciousness, you'll be warm. I guarantee you. The holy guy. They do seem to use chemo for everything nowadays. You know what? It's a runaway train line, man. And you know, I like to live in the now and enjoy the ecstasy, but I also a little bit of a warrior dude. I just, someone was talking about giving chemo for a little arthritis, a chemo for a little this. These guys haven't been stopped. So they're, you know, when you don't stop a criminal, they just get worse. Like the federal government and like the IRS, you don't stop the IRS from breaking the law, they'll keep breaking the law. And now the corrupt judge. I like this one candidate that, who was it? Maybe it was Perry. He was saying, I'm going to stop the life commitment for federal judges, that they're elected for life. That was the worst thing you could have done, the government could have done. And those type of presidents have sold off God and the American way and the beauty, because the American way is the God way. Freedom of the individual to be and express themselves, and so we've just choken that off. And to give anybody a lifetime job, and it doesn't matter how good or bad they are, you're in there for life, that's a bad signal. We got to end the lifetime appointments for federal judges. That's the first thing, and they need to be able to, I don't know how you're going to have checks and balances with judges. They're so arrogant. You talk about narcissistic, and they think they can make a ruling any way they want and no one's going to bother them. That's a problem. And, you know, this use of chemotherapy on everything like that, psoriasis, I mean, it's shocking. It's literally shocking that these people are that ignorant. It's shocking. This is barbaric, archaic, torture. I mean, and we condone it. But, of course, we did waterboard and we did do torture. I mean, Americans, it's amazing. The proof's in the pie. A family member of mine is on light chemo for kidney disease. Whoa! Whoa! Oh, man, can you imagine running chemo through your kidneys? But there again, kidneys. Everybody has kidney problems to some degree. I could make that statement probably and be pretty close to accurate. Dang. But you know what? Supply and demand. If you're willing to step up and allow these criminals to give you chemo, then I don't know what to tell you. You know, is it their fault or is it our fault for allowing them to do it? Light and easy. I try to be light and easy. I do, but when you guys come up with this insane stuff, it sets me up. Let's see, I have a question regarding chronic headaches. Ooh, I hate headaches. My son's girlfriend has constant headaches. She does eat from what I know is a sad American diet, but also she has a mother who has some same affliction. She drinks coffee to try and make the headaches less severe. Would like to know not only what she could do to treat herself, but since she has some sort of genetic predisposition to this, will this be something? No. Definitely though, stomach, sinuses, you know, you can look either way, doesn't matter. Your focus is always the same, whether the problem is in the GI tract and you're having spasms in the stomach or problems in the stomach, you've got sinus, you got pressure, you've got low calcium utilization where you have more spasticity, all acidosis. So you're going down that same road to get well as someone with cancer, someone with anything else. That's what drives them nuts. It's way too simple. But get in there and detoxify those bodies for sure. You have headaches that long, don't put up with those headaches. I had an Amish elder once come to me, had headaches, migraines every day for 45 years. And only took me a couple months to get it out of him. And had it every year and spent, I think I told you about this one, well up over $100,000. And I got it out of him 2.5 months, or even 2 months. Could have been even less than that. Wasn't a difficult case whatsoever. He never did forget that. Good guy. Died recently in his upper 90s, or mid 90s. Let me see here. Elder Ivory. Ivory! I have been watching a number of your videos and they have helped me. Thank you, Ivory. You've been eating a lot of bananas to see. I'm dealing with candida with a lot of symptoms. Well, remember this young sweet thing said she's nuking her candida. You got to nuke your candida, man. That's why you get into the herbs. Use the herbs. But remember, clean out the body. Get your adrenal glands up. Stay away from starch and get into the simple sugars and stuff like that. And I was near death, but God intervened. Also dealing with hypoglycemia. There you go. You're having sugar metabolism problems. And this is a good lesson for you guys that want to be healers. It's a sugar metabolism problem. Remember the fungal family, candida, etc., moles, warts. Well, warts are virals, but still, when you take a look at this, this is all in the process of decay, fermentation, things like this. When you see the microbes of life, realize their job is pretty much to help the process of life to death. Because we always need atoms here. People keep wanting to have babies, and we need atoms. The problem is, the more we get atoms as humans, we have to have the same death ratio somewhere. Whether it's trees, whether it's plants, somewhere. We can't just wish we had more atoms and reach somewhere in Santa Claus's bag and pull out more atoms. This universe is already built. It's atomically solid. So we can't get more atoms. So something has to die when you want to have a child. But that's the natural rhythm of things. But at the same time, we have to have balance with that. And so really go after the health of your body here. It's hypoglycemia. So fungus is fermentation, the process of fermentation. You don't crave fruits with candida. People say fruits feed candida. You don't crave fruits with candida. You crave breads, pastas, cheeses, already fermented foods. That's what you crave. Fruits will turn it on though, no question. But use Parasite M. Or some type of antifungal herb, safe, great for the body, keep them down to a low roar, fix your adrenal glands so you'll start metabolizing sugar, Ivory. You'll bring it up from low sugar. But because you have a little low blood sugar, you need to eat about 4 or 5 meals a day. You can eat off and on all day long fruits. These fruit sugars and vegetable sugars aren't long-lasting sugars. They're not like a starch where you got a lot of sugar. Someone asked me the difference between the fructose and fruits and the fructose, let's say, in table sugar. Say it's sucrose or maltose or dextrose. They call a sugar a saccharide. A sugar is considered a saccharide, which is basically carbon chains. And so simple sugars are simple carbon chains of carbon. So when you look at disaccharides, which is 2 sugars or more, or polysaccharides, which is many sugar. Poly means many, just like polycystic means many cysts. Well, that's a lot of, there's only glucose and fructose as simple sugars except for galactose. So most complex starch, of course, has a bunch of glucose and a bunch of fructose bonded uniquely to make that particular starch. So it's always between fructose and glucose, however many bonds you want to bond to make the poly saccharide. So simple saccharide. You can't get any simpler than fructose and glucose. The comment about the fructose is converted back to glucose is, I kind of disagree with that one. I've proved that isn't true. I have been told to take probiotics and herbs from Pure Herbs. Well, Pure Herbs is a good company. I like Pure Herbs. It's a good company. Probiotics, forget that. You can't keep these guys out, and you want the bacteria suited for the food you're eating, not lactobacillus and bifidus groups. That's ridiculous. You can't keep these guys out. I also told to not eat sweet fruit. All of this advice was from a lady in Louisiana that does iridology, and the sound advice from her, Candida Lublid. Yeah, I mean, just take off down the road. I mean, you support yourself with the herbs and the diet, and you go on down the road. Don't be afraid of fruits, berries, or melons ever. Use your herbs to deal with overgrowth and things like this, and to put a punch to the program. This is NDAN, NDAN 3. I need to recommend it as to water protocol. Let's see, my meds are, let's see, Zolpidem for sleeping, Levoxyl for thyroid, Atentanol for high blood pressure, hydrocortisone for, which is really a diuretic, furosemide, which is another diuretic. Of course, you're on potassium, aspirin, one Synergy Multivite, and Aclabur for herpes. Well, let's see, also wants to put me on Wellbutrin for depression. God, well, you're going to a medical doctor that really loves medications. Well, here, listen, you got to get your body's very acidic. You got to detox it. That takes care of the herpes. It cleans everything out of your body here. If your thyroid is weak, get a glandular. Use the glandular to increase your thyroid function, and then you can get off your T4. And very important, or you're going to weaken your thyroid. You want to get into the health focus and make your body healthy. Your high blood pressure, atenolol, that's your kidneys and adrenals. You can see you're trying to pull the water weight to keep your blood pressure down. If you're holding water, of course, that's edema, that's acidosis, that's your kidneys again, that's your adrenals. So what I see here with NDAN, you guys, what do you think? We got kidneys, check. Adrenals, check. Lymphatic problems, check. The suppression of the thyroid is either from the lymph system or from a pituitary, which can be from the lymph system. Genetics, okay. We're going to fix that up with glandulars and get your lymph system moving, check. High blood pressure, easy. What's your blood pressure medication? When your blood pressure comes down here, you're on a lot of diuretics here. Kidney number 2 is a diuretic, a little diuretic in kidney number 1. Use those to clean and restore the kidney function. At the same time, it'll help keep the water off, get your body out of acidosis. Pulling the lymph will get rid of the herpes, and you're in good shape. How about that? Langs Brenda. Hi there, Dr. Morris. Hi, sweetheart. Diagnosed with diabetes and put on metformin. And yet the doctor says I do not need to keep an eye on my blood sugar. Yeah, don't. Well, that's unusual because really most doctors says we'll just watch it. So, I know. You know, it's very common for a medical doctor because he sees everybody on the 15-minute or less. Less than most of the times here. How's he going to know you and take care of you? You know, reality is that you're stuck on medications and you'll be on them the rest of your life because they're not going to take you off of them. I mean, there's some good medical doctors that maybe watch and do that, so forgive me, but What I see here, people come in here, they've been on medications for years and didn't need them, and the medical doctor didn't do a thing about it. It's like, that's not good. You have to take responsibility, because as a practitioner, I'm going to have you on an herbal program, but at a certain point, I'm going to get you off of most of them and go on. If you need something, we're going to keep going. We're going to work on that or not. You know, we're going to change things around. We're going to deal with that. The idea is that your food be your medicine and your medicine be your food. And so that's the whole idea. Unfortunately, we don't have any good food. So I don't know. But anyway, you know exactly that was wrong. Good take, Brenda. Can I call you Brenda? What on earth is that about? Well, you know, don't worry about it. You're covered. That's crazy. That's insane. Because what happens if your blood sugar comes down to normal? You know why? Because most people don't do anything about their health, and the medical doctors don't see anybody getting better, so they know they're going to be on them. Their statements are from what they see. So in some ways you can't blame some of them, because in reality people don't change their lifestyles. Well, if they don't change their lifestyles, their symptom though is going to get worse. The problem with this is that someday you're probably going to go up and then maybe be on insulin. But you know better. So, sweetheart, you're going to take care of this. I have been 50-80% raw for the past month or so. Good. I'm waiting till January before I... Oh, okay, honey. I'm sorry you have to wait so long, guys. It's just been that way. That's why we're going to open up to more counselors here, because there's just, you know, it's too much. We're booking now into March, and I have lost almost 50 pounds. Woohoo! In the past year. Great job on yourself. Great work on yourself. Again, adrenals, this is adrenal glands. It's why the weight in the first place, and the kidneys. That's why the blood sugar. That's why the weight. So fixing those adrenal glands, getting your kidneys to filter the lymph, you're going down the road to Wellville, darling. Need to lose lots more, so working on it. Just keep going, sweetheart. Don't think about that. Love you too. Don't think about that. Just keep thinking about health. I'm eating healthy. I'm being healthy, and one day you're going to look there and go, whoa, new body. Yeah. So good job. Good job. And watch your blood sugars, because you know, if your blood sugar is 140 or below and you're asymptomatic, mean you don't have any symptoms, so why would you take anything? A lot of people walk with higher blood sugars for a while they're working on it. So what? You know, it's all about symptoms and that sort of thing when it comes to blood sugar, especially in the type 2 type, which is sugar metabolism. Annie C., how can I contact you? As I saw a video of a lady with MS who read out a letter. Wasn't that tearjerker? I recently became a support person for a friend with MS, and I know another on Facebook. Well, darling, that's why I put her on there. I can't stand to see people suffering. It's kind of like this blood sugar. Here, you got MS, take these chemicals and we'll just let you suffer the rest of your life, because they don't know any better. We know better. We're the healers of the planet. We know better. So as healers, we're going to go after these people that are suffering with MS. Any neurological condition is suffering. Yeah, karma, but let's work karma out. Let's go through and work this karma up, get on the other side of that, and start rebuilding these tissues. You can work karma out on different levels. It doesn't always have to be physical. And I can help you do that. Or we can. Sorry, guys. Get on that raw. And whether you have brain lesions or not, upper circ, brain and nerve, you really want to get into that lymph totally, as we've discussed previously. And how do you get your lymph system moving? Don't sit around. Even if you have minor MS symptoms, don't wait. Don't wait until you can't walk, like this poor lady. And we have a ton of them coming in here, wheelchairs, canes, or on stretchers. So you don't have to go that far. The further you take your body down, the harder it is to get back. So, you know, don't go down too far. I deleted my post because I realized that the reason I was led to you, this is Anna C. again, the first place, because I have 2 friends with MS. Absolutely, absolutely. They're doing weekly exercises to prevent falls and stuff like this, but not curative, as you know. There's nothing curative about that. Physical therapy, yeah. you really want to hit on this and go into this raw and this higher level of fruitarianism if you want to get out of that MS condition. Yeah. This is neurological weaknesses, brain lesions, and things like this. A lot of issues in the cerebellum, of course, with the equilibrium. And you can work on physical therapy, but clean it out. Clean out your lymph system and restore natural tissue function. Get all this inflammation out, get the adrenals popping up, more neurotransmitters, more serotonins. And you'll be walking or running. Absolutely. This lady you saw will be running before next year's up, if she keeps going. And her husband, the chiropractor, is going to make sure of it. This guy's hell-bent. I don't blame him. That's his woman. Sounds like she has multiple things going on. I don't know who you're talking about. This is Jackie Doe to Smitten. Jackie Doe, all you guys are good. You know, I really... Thanks for us all being a group and working with each other. And we need to always do it with love. Yes, if you're carrying an attitude, it's going to pull that out of most of you. You can see that. Kelly, you were carrying one more than you are now. You're getting better, sweetheart. You're doing well. But, you know, when people sense something, it's like a dog sensing prey. They're going to go after what they're sensing. And so this is all good education for each and every one of us, including Wonder Why, sweetheart, you, Kelly. I have to understand why this is happening. And this is happening to refine you, to make you stronger. Because you can't just retreat. You must be stronger. Stronger in your commitment, stronger in your knowingness, stronger in your love. You know, and that's a test for the healers too, to work with people that are hanging on to things. And as soon as they let go, we have to let go. We have to help you through these things. There's a time to be strong with someone. There's a time to give them love. There's a time to give them compassion. It's a time to put your arm around them and walk with them. Now, 5th day on grapes and herbs, and I am beginning to feed the detox. I remember feeling this way much sooner on water. Yeah, I'm glad you said that, Jackie Doe, because yes, water does feel stronger, but there's something unique about the fruits, and it's just a better detox, and I don't know, just between the eating and having something and the energies and the magnetics and the astringents and everything else, there is something, and I'm glad you said that. More energy, you have more energy on the fruit detoxing than the water. But it'll get you the same place, it's just not as aggressive. Keep in mind, what you're willing to do, sometimes the average person isn't willing to do. So as a healer, you've got to look at that and understand that and pick that part of yourself that had that hard time maybe at one time. Because if you get too strong as a healer and eat nothing but fruit and raw and stuff, could come out to bite you, because God has a way of balancing out that in you, you know, especially if you want to be a healer. If you walk with balance first, you'll save the butt kickings. You know, so just give your compassion and love and understand work them through it. Smitten. That's an interesting name. Oh, on one more question. My sister Felicia will not have any complications taking these herbs with medicine, right? As long as I've been working with people and their health issues, I've never seen herbs interfere with chemical medications. If there's any interference, it's simply that the body's going to kick these medicines out. It's going to kick these pharmaceuticals out of the body, because I remember this pharmacist going to jail because he was cutting chemo way down, and so it could stretch out and he could sell more chemo. And I thought, shoot, they should have given him a gold star. He probably saves lives. Instead, they put him in jail for cutting down that life-saving acid nectar that ravishes so many people. Smitten, oh, I might add vertigo to the mix of what my sister has. Now, again, you know, vitiligo, I mean, this is the pituitary, you know. Vertigo, vitiligo. So you have to realize this is going up into her head there in the pituitary. So you want to get up on a pituitary glandular and really start working with your sister in the raw foods here, Smitten. and get going with that. My sister got an irregular pap smear. Okay, now this is important, and that's why I put this up front here. My sister got an irregular pap smear back and will be going to do an MRI. Now here's where the medical profession starts taking off, right here. Right here. She's going to be doing an MRI done to see if it is cancerous this Thursday. She has a background of anxiety, panic attacks, sleep apnea, depression, and when she was in high school, I remember she was some kind of cyst, I think, in her breast. She's only 28 years old. So this is for you, sis. She's Felicia. She's got sleep apnea. She has a sleep apnea machine by her bed. Okay. It would be okay, so I do not want to see her get radiation or anything like that. Already laundry list of issues. Absolutely. So here's the gig, sis Felicia. I created the Heal All Tea for douching. Get using that right now. Start douching with the Heal All Tea. Douche at least once a night. Get in a bathtub. They'll tell you, lift your hips, make this tea, get a skin temperature, insert it. Get you a douche bag or whatever you can. Get it up in you. Hold that in there. Hold that in that Heal All Tea. And then let it go, and then put some more in there. And do that for about 2 weeks, and it should convert that cell back within the week, but it might take 2 weeks to convert those cells back. This, what your anxiety gives you a big clue. Your anxiety is your adrenal glands. This, what your anxiety gives you a big clue. Your anxiety is your adrenal glands. They sit on top of your kidneys, which filter the lymph system in the vaginal wall, in the ovaries, in the uterus, in the leg, in the hip, in the pancreas, in the liver, in your brain. The kidneys filter the body's predominant fluid, which is the sewer fluids, head to toe. This just means in your vaginal wall, you're not moving your lymph. The acidosis is starting to break down vaginal cells. Simply use the douching. That'll turn you around. Don't start having them do a lot of issues to you because, you know, I mean, they're taking off down what they know, and they're, you know, looking for cervical cancer or whatever. You're going to already attack it. You're going right on and get in that Heal All Tea, but systemically move your lymph. Depression is parathyroid. Well, I've already seen vitiligo. That's pituitary. So you've got issues head to toe. Get on some glandulars for the pituitary. That might pick up the thyroid. If not, we'll deal with that. Parathyroid, very important for depression. You're not utilizing calcium well. That's obvious. So depression, parathyroid, anxiety, adrenal glands. Obviously, of course, the kidneys aren't filtering the lymph. That's why the atypical cells, you want to use the douching. I'm telling you right off. It's made for that. Every woman I know has done that. Very successful at converting these. But you still have to understand that you're not moving the lymph system down in your pelvic area well. So you're going to see ovarian and uterine problems coming. And goes on and on and on there. So Smitten, you help your sis there. Have her review this video, but then you're learning a lot. You've reviewed a lot of videos. I remember your name, honey. So help your sis out. And sis, if you don't do it, you're going to end up with more serious problems. And let me tell you, if you knew where you were going, you'd do this first. So get on it and you'll be very successful. Typical problem we have in here every day. This is Double Raw Star. Thanks, Dr. Morse, for answering a question about colostrum. I'm not, when we leave the milk period of time at 1.5 years old to 2 years old, we're done with that. Our growth should be then from the fruits and the berries and things. That's all the chemistry we need for that. Our glands should be on top, the pituitary for growth, things like this. If you're feeling down like that, that shows that your weakness is showing forth in the adrenals and things like this. You shouldn't need to take a food source to pump you because in reality, the body moves more by energy. I mean, if you look at the bottom line of why you eat is energy, isn't it? And the bottom line to chemistry is magnetic frequencies of energy, right? So if you start tearing this apart more and more and more, you're going to go right back up to a simple word called energy, and whether your body can create it or channel it. one of the two. And more likely it's channeling. Even cells channel energy, except unless for obstructions. So you should feel, if you need to take colostrum and you don't feel like it's mucus forming, okay. But I can tell you what, you should have good growth factors by now. You don't need these colostrum. Matter of fact, colostrum fades away there after the first few months. So really, colostrum is only initially there for a very short period of time, actually. So there's really no need as a human adult to have any, and a young child to have these kind of growth factors. Growth factors is simply about the cells and hormones and steroids and all these type of issues. And that should be a natural product of cell vitality and cell health. If you're compromised in the vitality of a cell or the strength and the production of a cell, then you've got to go make those cells healthy. And making those cells healthy, then you can swing around and use the fruitarian lifestyle, especially for adults. But again, in cancer cases, I've noticed the opposite. Matter of fact, I was telling you about this Amish lady that didn't think I was doing a job fast enough, went to a nutritionist, and the nutritionist put her on colostrum. Well, her tumor started growing real fast then, and she went back to the nutritionist and said, look, my tumor's growing. The nutritionist said, well, I can't help you anymore. Oh, that was nice. She couldn't help her in the first place. She just didn't know how to admit it. You know? So now she was bigger, and I had to get, and she, of course, came back, of course, because there's only one way. In the final analysis of this, there's only one way that I've ever found that you can get this. Truly get it right. Cool. I'm going to cool and green. The research I did on chemtrails, I found that interesting that you found that there's microscopic aluminum. Oh, that's scary. And barium tubes, designed to stay afloat in our upper atmosphere. The intention is to reflect the sun's lights away from the Earth. Now, if these light if the heat is coming from the sun, then why is it colder as you get closer to the sun? It's all about light affecting atoms, isn't it? If you look at it spiritually, it's about how lights reflect off of atoms, isn't it? This is quite a long one here. This is a cousin, Sarah, 32-year-old, was feeling under the weather. This is quite an interesting thing. She had a cough. She's diagnosed with pneumonia. Of course, antibiotics didn't improve it because pneumonia isn't from bacteria. No pneumococcus here. Could be, but could not be. It's just congestion. We should get that. And then they took a second x-ray, saw no improvement, so they ordered a CAT scan because they suspected pneumonia had encapsulated. So the CT scan results showed tumors. And she had said she probably had lymphoma. And then this is when her suffering really began, because then they started getting in and biopsying her. I mean, she just started going, oh, let's go in and just check these lymph nodes and check this, then the pain and suffering started. And when in the bottom line, how are you going to get them out in the first place? So they, 15 freezing needles and 7 biopsy needles into 3 lymph nodes, pretty much chewing up the lymph nodes for her. That's cool. The procedure left her unbelievably swollen, no kidding, and sore for over a week. The biopsy was inconclusive. Too much inflammation, well, no kidding. Since the invasion of her lymph nodes, she cycles through fevers, pulmonary embolism fevers. She had a pulmonary embolism? What? Basically, she has 4 to 5 fevers a day up to 103 degrees. She also very anemic with a hemoglobin count in the low 60s. Due to the inflammation, she was then scheduled for a bronchoscopy. Now, inflammation is what? What is inflammation? If you study inflammation like you do chemtrails, it's an immune response. Well, what's an immune response to what? Could we lightly say acids? Next was another biopsy, cut into her chest wall and took a sample close to the lungs. This surgery took a few hours and left her very swollen and very sore. That's because her lymph system is moving well in the first place. They're just going to create more trauma, more lymph toxicity doing this, of course. And then, of course, the lymph nodes are going to swell because of all this, and all they're getting worse. And now we're going to go in and cut part of the lungs out. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Ugh. This biopsy was inconclusive. However, they did confirm lymphoma. Not the stage. They say she has Hodgkin's lymphoma. Then on the hematology, let me see, transfusion because of the iron. They did a bone marrow biopsy. They took another chunk out of her. Blah, 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 blah. Sarah. Sarah, I hope you're reviewing these videos, sweetheart. Don't get yourself into any more trouble because this isn't a fun place to have trouble. So you really want to get yourself focused here and really start detoxing and get way up there. I'd do some serious grape fasting. I'd get on our lungs 2 and 3 lung tea. Start inhaling it, start drinking it. And really start pumping that lymph system. Get your kidneys going, get your adrenals up there, get your lymph system up pumping and filtering through those kidneys and get your body cleaned out. Go into the bowels, clean up the bowels. You're going to do some coughing. You are going to have cough with production. You weren't having so much of that. You got to break this loose. Your lymph nodes, that's just your lymph system backed up. And you don't, I mean, their way isn't the fun way. And the end result is not good. And if you let them go into radiation or something, it's just going to be worse. I get a ton of lung cancer in here post-radiation, so not good. I mean, their way is never good, in my opinion, unless it's surgeries or something that you really need, like new hips and knees and stuff. These guys are pretty good. But there's other cases, not so good. So this is the time where you have to roll up your sleeves, get very serious focused in your detoxification, and get your lymph nodes and lymph system moving. Vital to do this, so there's nothing you can do. We'll just sit and watch them get bigger and bigger, and you'll lose your part of your lungs, and then in time your lungs will fill up. You have to have them needle aspirated, where you go in and put a big needle in your lungs and pull out the. I mean, let me tell you, it is not fun. It's not worth going that way at all. You want to go the health way. Get your body healthy. You have to anyway. So go, Sarah, go. Learn, knowledge up, and don't walk with fear, sweetheart. You're young. Get this done with, and you'll be good the rest of your life. Go their way, and you'll be dealing with this rest of your life. 303. What kind of mortar and pestle? Oh, yeah, I talked about this. Wood. Some website simply put fructose inclusive. Okay, I think I went over this one yesterday. Good. I wonder if I could juice the entire lemon with my juicer. Yeah, I don't generally juice rinds like some people like. A lot of oils, too much oils. Maybe if you use a little piece of rind, but don't need to juice the rinds of lemons or oranges and stuff, tell you the truth. Maybe just a little piece, but not even the primates eat the rinds. Very rarely do you see, maybe a tad bit, but not heavily so. Get some nice oils in there. Too many oils, though. Citrus oils are strong. I am 49. I have been vegan, mostly raw, for about 4 months. How long before jock itch goes away? Well, get on the herbs. Probably going to need those to help you. If not, it could be months and months and months. When you do it raw-wise, it could be a long time, my friend. You'd have to get into some serious fasting. That's why I love the herbs. Really need to take Parasite in, get your lymph moving, get your kidneys filtering, go after those adrenals. Same type of thing, and really get that out of there. We have some creams for fungal problems and stuff, but reality is it's an internal problem. So get your kidneys and adrenals going, my friend. Get on the lymph system and pull that out. Might want to clean up your bowels while you're doing that, and you'll be okay. But doing it raw could take you a while, as you're seeing already. 4 months on the herbs and everything, you shouldn't have that by now. Clara, thanks for this. I don't know who you're talking about. Little Justin, isn't he cute? Justin is such a sweet kid. He's raised as raw as you can get. Now he's been, his dad. It's his dad. Mom a little, but dad. Feed him all kinds of things. He fed him. We were out eating one day, and he fed him some chicken, and he made him eat the chicken. Said, "Isn't this good? Isn't this chicken good?" Knowing that I despise meat and that I didn't want him to have ever any meat. That's my younger son. I am a regular with the pharmacy and always use credit card and live outside the U.S. Never a problem. You can expect this channel to be attacked since Dr. Moore speaks the truth to power. Much love, the Oracle Pearls. Yeah, I expect that too, but I can tell you, I've been anticipating stuff like that, so I've got a good legal team. And I'm ready to roll up my sleeves, and I think a lot of Americans are. So I wouldn't mind hitting the courts with some very powerful lawsuits to wake up some of these dead, sleeping people. Because then I got to maintain spirituality with doing this, but at the same time, one's got to protect themselves. So, yeah, it's time to wake up, people. Wake up, FBI. Wake up, FDA. Wake up, government, because you see these protesters, all the cops, lining up, and now you're going to make Americans madder and madder and madder. And the worst thing you could do is really get them stirred up, because America's a little different than these other countries where they don't have the weapons. We all have weapons and not afraid to use them. Our right to have them and use them. Now, on the spiritual side, we need to everybody take a deep breath and start giving everybody love. All these powerful people need to have, some meditation time. And so we need a wave of higher consciousness blowing across the land. Ever since I'm experiencing constant pressure, yep. I just started raw diet, mostly vegetables. No, I'll kick up with the fruits, man. But I've had no improvement. Well, you're gonna have to have some detoxification. Just raw food isn't going to do it. I can tell you, you're going to have to kick it way on up there and get your body expectorating this mucus. Might even need a little bronchitis or a cold and flu-like symptom to really purge this out of there. Could take you a while, so don't freak out. It's not going to come out real quick, not on vegetables, and probably not come out at all on vegetables. Nebulizer okay, but antibiotics and stuff wrong way. And any inhalers. Use the antispasmodic to relax this child. And little 2 to 4-year-old babies, so you just use a few drops, like 4 drops, 5 drops. Jennifer is much better with children than I. She works with the children. We have another lady that's very good with children. She watches this site. I don't know where her site is. I'm afraid to give her name out, but she's working well with her family. C-Stall, you've done well with your family, even though you're on a hate me syndrome right now. But, you know, you got to balance out. But you've done well with your children as much as you can. Your little girl needs to get raw, you know, but you've done very well. A lot of mothers here have done very, very, very well with their sick children. It's scary with the children because you have the AMA and the monster machine here, which will take your child away from you, and then you have what you know to be true over here. So it's a real struggle between the two. And I've just been privy to seeing so many children pass because of this monster machine thinking they know everything. And that's another problem with having degrees, is you think you know everything. But this little child, you need to go a little adrenal gland formula. I would probably use the new brain and nerve formula, just see if we can pick up that little child's nervous system. I definitely do lymphatic 1 and kidney number 1. Just a few things right there. Might do a little parasite M for a while. Obviously, at this age, you want them on fruit. Done with the milks, the formulas, because now you're going to have to clean out what these formulas did to this child, because that'd be formulas or breast milk on a mom that's not eating healthy or something, because raw food babies don't get the mucus. So you're going to have to get her on some raw foods, get the baby on some fruit juices, apple sauces, homemade apple sauces, stuff like this. Put some herbs in a little grape juice. You'll start working for a fruitarian. You're going to have some healing crisis here if he's a little congested in the lungs. So you're going to have a little fever to deal with and stuff like this. Nebulizer, okay, but what I'd probably do is the little 3-lung tea. Just a little bit of tea there, help them to expectorate and clean her lungs out, but it's the nervous system that's problematic here, Smitten. And these children, we're going to have to work out of this and get them up into a state of health, because this is all over the place here, honey. All over the place. I held in a lot of anger throughout the years. Oh, this is Kalke. I wish I can't pronounce that. I've asked Kathy. None of us around here know how to pronounce your name. What a beautiful picture. I held in a lot of anger throughout the years, and now I have a lot of liver issues. Yeah, isn't that funny? The liver is a seat of anger, no question about that, sweetheart. So detoxify the liver and get into the place that you in love with yourself and God, not from an egotistical viewpoint, from a beauty point, from an acceptance, if you will, of who you are and the divinity of yourself, not in the finite bodies, but in the infinite of who you are, and let the anger go, because it does not matter. These are bodies that we have. We're in the drama. Anything can happen, from rape to trauma to it's just innumerable bad things can happen right here, and but you'll have to find that center and realize it's your bodies that are falling victim to this. You must keep yourself free and understand your inner beauty and keep that joy, honey, and let it all go. Use the liver formula, detoxify the liver, because when you start detoxifying your liver, some of that anger could come back out. Just know it's coming out of you, and you're going to let it go. That's how you let karma go. Let it come out, let it go. You don't want it anymore. You don't need it anymore. Doesn't matter anymore. Karma's going to flip back and get these people. Like this guy gets haunted me on my degree here. I'm interested to see what's going to be coming his way. I even had panic attacks. There you go. There's your adrenals, fear, and also have kidney adrenal. Absolutely, honey. Well, fix them. You've had it. You know what's wrong. Now go after that and fix them. Strap on the robe, strap on the belt, get the robe on, and ride. And let it all go. And ride like a beautiful soul down the road on your white horse with a blue sword of light and love. I have a lot of detox out of my body to get, and my body functioning stronger. Go, sweetheart. go. I never knew that things can come out of the belly button. Yeah, you go, absolutely can. We've had tumors, we've had pus, we've had everything. Look at that. About a week of starting the protocol you gave me, my belly button became tender. Didn't think too much about it at first, then 2 days later I took a look and it was filled with a thick white fluid. Lymph, I assume. Right on, bro. Right on. I took a pair of tweezers and pulled out this inch-long white blob. Isn't that cool? You just eliminated some good, nasty stuff. Very gross, sorry. Nope, it's gross, but that's what we are. We're a gross channel because we're right into the reality of sewage and toxicity and acids. But we do it with love and light. I'll give you that website maybe if I get it and show you. That's a gross website. But that's lymph, and it gets nasty, like whipping cream. I took a pair. Oh yeah. Question is, the body is 70% lymph. Why doesn't it come out when you cut yourself like the blood does? You get some lymph flow when that happens. You can get a little lymph flow with blood, but they're deeper, so you won't get it unless you get some real deep issues there. The lymph vessels are definitely deeper in the body. It sounds like she's a bit out of yeah, I know, we'll go with that way. Hard situation. I'm finally conquering my first day full of juice fasting. Yeah! First day, that's pretty good. Let's see, low, glitter. Let's kind of call you Glitter. Is that you? But your first day of full juice fasting, that's pretty good. How'd you do? You're going to try the second day now. Go the second day. Once you pass 2-3 days, you're good. You can go right on. I am trying to cure a laundry list of health problems, including arthritis and ulcerative proctitis. Hopefully works. Yeah. It doesn't hopefully. It will. Make it work. Understand what the problem is, the solution, and ride the ride. That's all you can do, because the only other solutions out there are allopathy, homeopathy. That's the only other two really healing modalities out there, other than naturopathy. It's grapefruit season, everyone. Absolutely. Should be a nice staple for our detox protocols. I'm thinking that's true, Hunter Lister. I'm thinking that's true. I woke up with some emotional detox this morning. Yeah, I hate that kind. I ate 2 grapefruits. They fixed me right up, and I was able to move along with my day. Citrus does that for me. Yeah, me too. Correlation between kidneys, adrenals, navel area, and citrus. Cool stuff. Good man. Yeah. You guys are kicking butt. I'm proud of every one of you. I am. So great to see the face of Drew. Good humor and a handsome man. He's a good guy, man. You know, all our people have good hearts. You have to work for me. You have to have good hearts, because if you don't, forget it. Not going to work. We're a love clinic, and we're going to help you as best we can. We're going to help you. Am I frisky today? I am frisky today too. Some people get me going a little more than others, but I try to be. And, thanks, man. I appreciate it, Hunter. Appreciate it. Figuring out how to better improve kidney filtration and adrenal function. One strategy I played with was taking solely kidney herbs while eating only fruits for 3 weeks. Try that before starting with kick your butt herbal formulas. You might try that. I thought of that too, about just hitting the kidneys for a while, but I always have to add one lymph. It's like, oh, well, let me just give them one lymph, because I'm going to try to pull it. I also think the lymph formulas help to pull in the kidneys too. Because think about this. These herbals are going to get in the kidneys, there's no question. They're going to go everywhere. When they get into the blood, they're going to go head to toe. So your astringents and your lymphatic herbs are also going to work in the kidneys. So that's why I always have to have one kidney. And I like lymphatic 4 for that reason, because it's a lot of astringents, plus it's the lymph herbs, so it's been known to help the kidneys better. So I'm just listening to you all, learning what how we can play with these herbs and stuff, because after all, we're groundbreaking. I broke a lot of ground in 40 years, and a lot of the past healers have, and you guys are going to break better ground. There's going to be more of us, and then when I leave this planet, you guys and your children are doing well. They're going to be the healers of the future. So you're all right, spot on with what you're doing and where you need to be. Keep it up. Proud of you all, very much so. Dear Robert, I am so happy, so sad to hear that you had to deal with this comment from this individual. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Yeah, I know it. I just got your book. I follow you in all your bits. Thanks so much there. This is Rosalind. Thank you, sweetheart. I'm sure many will agree with me. Oh, thanks. Listen, from the bottom of my heart, I love you all. And I appreciate you becoming part of the family on the channel. I love that. I think that if you look at that and you realize the power of what we're doing, the power of getting well, and yet the simplicity of that, in all levels, even this educational level, I think this idea of overeducation has to be dispelled, because this is the big problem. I've been able to, in my education, and I tell you, I've more educated myself outside of school than any school ever could. I've read thousands of books. I've studied all my life. And I tell you, thank God I got hooked spiritually, because I would have been one of those intellectual farts that blows in the wind. You know, there's nothing, it's empty. Empty signs of knowledge that has very little truth to it. And so really, on all levels, it's all good, guys. And don't feel that you, and this is a good example for you, don't feel you have to be overeducated, because the overeducated sometimes are the most ignorant and lack the most common sense. Healers, and I like the word healers because that's truly what we are. We're health practitioners, and health practitioners know the body and how to detoxify the body. You don't have to know every little muscle, every little vein and artery. That's crazy. Unimportant, has nothing to do with health and vitality, and you never use it. My biochemistry, I never use it. I studied chemistry in school. I've always had chemistry and biology. I made straight A's, except in chemistry in my last few years. You know, when you're in high school and you're dating, and you don't do so well with the arts so much. But always been a good subject of mine. I've studied it. There's one chemist here. I'll give you his name. I think he's passed now, but he really is good explaining acidosis and detoxification, everything through chemistry. Matter of fact, you had to be very, this gentleman wouldn't only accept a few people in his classes because he was elderly, and only those that knew what they were talking about. We liked each other a great deal. This guy only took a few people, mostly medical doctors or people that really wanted to understand the in-depth of variances and the whole idea of chemistry and anionic, cationic, the whole process of what chemistry creates in tissue. So his work was phenomenal, a very advanced chemist. I loved his work. I think he's passed. I've tried to contact him recently and I haven't been able to get a hold of him, but boy, his work is good. And so I tried to look that book up and see if you can find that book. They did a little look into chemistry from their point of view, and but bottom line is, you don't need any of that. If you understand the simplicity of this, then you're a simple healer, a simple God person. And that's what people need. They need simplicity in their life. They need to touch the cloak of God and consciousness, and that's what they need. They don't need the archive of the intellectual mind, which is what we're seeing in allopathy. Not good anymore. We're seeing it in government. Not good anymore. We're seeing it in government. No common sense. They don't know how to run anything. Wasn't it Bush that didn't even know what these automatic counters were in grocery stores? I mean, these people are out of touch, and we're putting someone that's out of touch with life and with the common person in a situation over them. That's what we've gone wrong. And just what this guy, we have praised the intellectual, the learned, what we consider the learned. I looked up your education. It turns out the school where you got your biochemistry degree doesn't exist anymore. Oh, this is old stuff, maybe. If this is all old stuff and you rectify that, I apologize. And let's get on with having a good site here. Yeah, it's important to have awareness about all the reptilian stuff. I hate to bring this out, Helen. I hate to talk about that. It gives me the creeps, but in reality, you have to understand, someone talked about, it's not, the reptilian consciousness is not foreign to Christianity because it's part of the evil side of forces. There are the good and evil forces. There's the acid and the basis. There's the duality of life. We just have to understand that this goes so deep into creation. We're not just one planet in center of trillions of planets where there's only life and God only loves us, and we're made after His, which is His image, and all that kind of stuff. No, that's an insult to the Supreme Being. We don't insult the Supreme Being. This is a being that is eternally creating in infinite realms and infinite dimensions. Whew. Well, my time is getting shorter, and we've covered quite a lot of stuff. So let's hope we lay a lot of things to rest, and because such a beautiful site we have. And I love you all. I love all your comments. And I will protect you as you protected me. So I will always be there to help you. If you ever need me, close your eyes and I will be there. I will tell you that. There is a lot going on. There's a lot of spiritual people working with me as well as working with you. And so this is so much bigger than what most people realize, I have to tell you. There's a lot of spiritual masters and beings that's helping us and working through this on a lot of levels. So this is a big, big thing, more than a lot of people realize. So, and it's important at this particular time, even though we're not from the worlds of time. Right? So I love you all so much. YFABU. Yeah, that's true about genetics and stuff. This NPD, a narcissistic personality disorder. Shireen, that's why I like detoxification. Of course, this is the road of hard knocks down here, and so soul's getting tempered in so many ways. And all you can do is channel the God force and let that deal with that. At the same time, getting healthy. Outside of getting the body healthy, which then translates to the emotional health, to the mental health, and connecting yourself with the Supreme Being as you, I don't know what else one can do to any of these disorders. Let the karma will itself, its wheel of chain around that, and work itself out in that soul. We're all just souls having obviously a physical experience, which is a little rough down here for those beautiful souls. It's really rocky. Isn't this a rock spinning through space in the first place? So I don't know. Parathyroid would be a good place to start here. Reptilian race, yeah. Christianity. Thanks for the input, Germain. I don't know. Is it Germain or German? Germain. How about Saint Germain? I like Saint Germain, matter of fact. The I Am faith, I studied them for a while. Quite an interesting faith. All the ascended masters, Saint Germain and Michael, and all these great souls. MS testimony, I'm grateful to. Thanks, I appreciate this. Now, Annie, you're the one that fell. Again, boy, what a fall. But if you follow also what she's doing, you will finally find total remedy, sweetheart. Total remedy. You will repair, and you will have total remedy, dear one. This is Keek. Hi, sweetheart. This is a beautiful channel. Thank you so much, sweetheart, for your love and coming to the channel. Thanks so much, Keek. Ivory. Dr. Morse explained the difference between the fructose. I did here a little while earlier. Lemonade. How you doing, sweetheart? That's a Kelly. This attention to enlightening. But Thanks, all of you. Suzanne, thank you, sweetheart. Keep going, Lemonade. You are kicking butt, dear one. You've got a great testimony here. You all are so loving, beautiful. This was always in the now. Oh, I love that picture. There's the violet is the etheric world. That's actually the id or the ego. That's the first world that soul experiences itself separate from itself, actually. And yet the id, but it's that last etheric plane before you hit soul, and that's the yellow. That's the center. That's the core. Love your thing. Here. Good morning. After being raw for 9 months, good job. And after finding your channel 4 months ago, eating fruits all day with salad in the evening and on your herbs for a couple months, I've lost almost 40 pounds. Woohoo! And wasn't fat to begin with. So now I am really skinny. 105 pounds, 5'7". Got a little malabsorption, honey, maybe going on there. Get that fixed up. You don't get into the colon. Use the stomach and bowel, lymphatic 1 capsules. As you go open up absorption, you'll start putting on muscle again. Yeah, you're right. You're right on here. Is there anything else I can do to speed up the process? I did a 10-day lemon juice fast. Wow, you're kicking butt. And simply felt full of energy during it. No healing crisis at all. Maybe I was supposed to rest. Well, I don't know. Hey, New Zealand. You know, did I show you, I think I showed you this from New Zealand. This was a naturopath from New Zealand. And I love how he did his eyes. Did we show you this? Isn't that beautiful? I sell these charts here. They're from New Zealand. But I love this. This is Dr. Jensen's iris chart, which is a typical iris chart. And see how much easier it is to show people and explain to people with this? But give me a picture of your eyes, sweetheart. We can see if you got lymph stagnation or not. Yeah, I won't. Yeah, I agree, Danielle. I agree. I just mentioned that a while back about that, and I won't. 303 through G to C. People have to start thinking of themselves and base their decision on that. On the society dictates everything and choose. Included C here. Dr. Morris speaks into our hearts. Thank you. All right. Thank you, guys. Thank you, 303, for your comments. They're right on with Etiken or something. Right on there. I appreciate that. You know, this person just has to work through their negativity in that way, you know, and let it go. You know, if a school becomes a paper mill, there are some schools that have given out degrees, honorary degrees. I got one from Southwest College of Naturopathy. Jensen got several from different schools for his lifetime work. You know, when you're someone like me and you have a lifetime of healing people, you know, it's kind of nice to get a respected degree like that, because we're way down the road from going to school. You know, we've been working in the trenches all our lives, so it's kind of nice sometimes to see an honorary degree like that. I had an honorary medical from Portugal. It was nice of the medical profession in Portugal. So you know, it's what one can do. That's the bottom line. And when people wake up to that, they'll grow and maybe get go on down the road. You know. I got lymph 4. Oh, good. Okay, so this is Austin. Let's see. You got lymph 4, kidney 1. I did a small dosage the first day, and the bed of my fingernails turned blue, and my hands were very cold. Wow! I took kidney 1 the second day separately, and it happened again. Just wondering if it could shed some light on this. I'm not sure if the herbs are playing a factor, but I can't remember this happening before. Yeah, I don't know. To be honest with you, I don't know why that would be. I don't know the connection neurologically. I mean, for you to have that much power, of course the herbs flow everywhere, so it just could be the impact of the herbs on your blood system or something, but I don't see it as a negative thing. But no, I've not heard of that before. Something new. But if it didn't make you feel bad or anything, I'd just keep moving and cleaning and moving and cleaning and moving and cleaning. Road to Valwell, I love seeing your grants. Oh, thanks. I think I read this. Yeah, I read this before. Good deal. My rib cage on my left side of my chest is bigger than the right one. This would probably be for the pain that I've been experiencing in my left side of my back that you think, Doc. I really appreciate your advices. Thanks, Andre. Yeah, I mean, again, this is about the lymph system. That side is obviously your weaker side with the kidneys. So really just start getting those kidneys, getting those lymphs moving. All that inflammation will come out. Your ribs your body will change. You already notice how your body changes its form, and work through this. This is your lymph system. There's no question about that. Not your blood. This isn't a blood problem. This is definitely your lymph system, all the pain and all that down your back. It does go to your kidneys, my friend, so really go into the kidneys, get your lymph. Clean up the bowels, too. Do you have lung or anything like that? You might want to clean your lungs out because this whole side is going to be involved here with you. Thanks for that, Nuke. Thanks for your comment about the grandson. Cute little feller. Hey, Robert, in the Netherlands, we also have to pay a lot for, I hate that with customs. You know, some customs are really good with us, and other customs is there are people. You know, so I don't know what to do about some of those. Jennifer can help in certain ways, I guess. You have to ask her. But you know, I just want to have the herbs. I know. Thank composer. I appreciate that. I wish I could find another way. I thought I would go to every country and take all their best herbs and form the formulas in each country and then set up a center in those countries. Maybe later on, maybe sometime when money is more available, we can all work together and set up healing centers in every country. I know that Romania has been after me, Bulgaria has been after me. We've got a lot of countries after me for doing this. We really need to do this because some of these countries are suffering bad, and the medical profession is just exacerbating that suffering. So we really need to work this out. I'm a little burnt out, but you guys have so much energy and everything that... and this is what you said, set up a clinic for detoxification. We definitely need to do that, and you can do that. That's why it's so important for you guys to grab all this knowledge and experience that you can, and that's why I like you guys. You're wearing the robes, you're doing the do. Therefore, you can set up a healing center. This is a health center, a detoxification center. We don't treat diseases. We don't even care. Those belong to the medical doctors. Let them have them. Thanks, All Is Love. Thank you so much. Can you please make a video on soulmates? Well, don't be mad. But, you know, when you look at the journey within creation, the illusion is that it is time-based, and there's lifetime after lifetime after lifetime, which there is. So it is said amongst the spiritual giants that we tend to reincarnate and travel down this path in creation with the same souls, at least off and on, through our journey, because we create karma within these different souls, and we end up, in other words, your mother in one lifetime could be your lover or your husband or your father in the next lifetime, or your brother. When you look at karma and reincarnation, this is some of the thoughts that are involved in that. That you see someone and you remember them, and maybe it was a love that you had for that individual in the last lifetime, and you hook up with that lifetime soulmate. In reality, there's only God. In reality, we're all soulmates, because we're all from the one, and we are all the one. We're expressing as individuals, but in the core essence of who you really are, we're all one, we're all the same, we're all it. So from one level, your soulmate could be one soul you really love from the journeys, and from another perspective,
We're all bound. We're all God. That's why I love the Rumi consciousness of seeing everything as God. And then you're at the true soulmate, because everything is your soulmate. Everything is God. And that's an ecstasy beyond what you can describe in human language. It's only experience of the joy and the ecstasy of the light and love that emanates from your beingness. And you can only have it when you understand that all life is one. And that's what this planet needs, a dose of God consciousness. But it is creation. And creation has its duality in it. And you'll always see duality. Even on this channel, you're seeing duality, even though I'm pulling, Lion Man's pulling. Some of us are pulling you to the now. And some of you already are playing in that. So thanks, that. Love you, dear one. All is love. I love that. And that's just part of that's part of your title. All is love. All is God. All just is. There's nothing you can say about it. Creation has its ups, downs, backwards, forwards, pendulum swinging, positive, negative, okay. But you can't let it get you. You can't let it get you. You can't dwell on things. I might go after somebody for a minute, but all right, done. I don't need to dwell. I don't need to live in anything like that. I just want to say I feel privileged. Oh, but that treats movie stars, also cares enough about the average person. You know what? I've got a lot of wealthy people, May Freaky, and a lot of superstars, but my heart has always been, because I've always been poor, and my family had money, but I've always been poor, and I tell you what, I love everyone, as I'll put it that way. I love those that give, and those that are honest and from the heart and simplistic. I love that. Dr. Morris, your videos are a highlight of all. Thank you, Sassy. Thank you so much. They are appreciated. Oh, I thank you. I really love them. And here's Eagle Hearts thing. Now this is older. 3 of the schools were attended no longer. Oh, thank you for that. And this is probably old stuff. So if this is an old and I chewed your butt for nothing, forgive me. But if you're still hanging on that, then let me chew it some more, boy. But Eagle Heart Song, I thank you for this comment too, Etikan, about that 3 of the schools we attended no longer exist and stuff. That's classic. Well, I don't have any more to say about it, really. But thank you, Eagle Hearts. You guys are a couple of good people here. I love all your comments and stuff. You guys are really good. Appreciate the energy and the strength you guys are giving to the site. A lot of you guys are just feeding into the site power, love, strength, joy. You guys are emanating. That's what I love about this channel. I think we continue to make it a strong and powerful channel, and we work together. You can join us, make it strong and powerful. Let go of this education bull crap. You want my biochemistry degree? Come get it. I'll give it to you. I had a lady in the other day. Jensen gave me a big Buddha. She said, "Oh, someone stole my Buddha." I said, "You want that one?" I gave her the Buddha, and she's been happy ever since. See, I don't care about material things. Well over 40 years of experience. My husband is practicing hypnotherapist. He's over 40 years. That's good, as long as he is interested in passing on the benefits of detoxification. Go! Your husband sounds a nice guy there, Fruit, Berry, and Melons. He's already asked me to print out smoothie and juice recipes. You know, sounds like you got a great husband. And that's what hypnotherapists, psychologists, psychiatrists, I've had them call me. I have a load of psychotherapists. Every mental health practitioner you can name, we have them here. And they're hurting. I had a famous guy, he's a psychiatrist that wrote tons of books. Poor guy burned himself out bad. Instead of going on drugs, he called me and went on herbs. We rebuilt his adrenals, which he totally fried. He had his endocrine gland system was totally fried. Now he's up kicking again, probably writing books again. Thank you, JG. Thanks for all your comments. Now, this is probably old stuff, but thank you all for your support. And thank you all so much. I like what you said here. Alexander Graham Bell dropped out of college. So did Bill Gates, George Washington, Thomas Edison. Take that. I don't know how to pronounce your name effectively, so forgive me. Etiken, but I'm glad that they're giving you a dose of what reality is there, man. I'm sure this is old stuff and old hat stuff, so we can drown that out, but I've had this sitting around for a while. JG, all of you, love you all. Let's get on with the healing. We have so many sick people that are hurting. You guys are so full of love. I love you all. Oh, is this Milk Man? This can't be Milk. This is I don't know how to pronounce your name. Hi, Robert. Thanks for answering my question about the Hill Tea. I noticed that you reflected over my username. Yeah, what is that? It's not that I'm an advocate for milk drinking. Yeah, what is that, man? I'm a huge Bob Dylan fan. Yeah. As I decided to use one of his aliases, Milkman. Oh, cool. I got it now. I got that. Matt got that. I like Bob Dylan, too. I really love the Traveling Wilburys. God, man, when you have the best of the best coming together, isn't it cool? And that's what we're doing, the best of the best healers. We're all the best healers, and you're going to see it come together, you know. And that's what's cool. I love the best in their field, because the best in their field has gone outside of the boxes, and their knowledge is extensive, because it's always going to tie back to here. You're learning the fundamentals. This is the foundation. Outside of that, there's nothing else there. So even in biochemistry, and even as chemists, learning biological transmutations, going outside of the box, getting deeper into questions that are much more direct at causative factors, I think, is really key. I don't know. We have such a constipation in our educational system now. We just keep like spinning like mice on a Ferris wheel. We keep spinning and spinning down that same road. So yeah, thanks for the input there, man. I hope this is old stuff. Again, about this, Etiken, about this. I don't know, maybe it is. You know, I've got so much, but this will lay this to rest. But thank you for answering the question on ACL, Dr. Morris. I have another question, though. If your lymph system is backed up all the way up into the head, do you have to go on a juice fast to clean it up, or can you just have an all-fruit diet? Oh, good question, Kratos. I really don't advocate fruit juices so much as I do just eating fruit. I think that, and look what we accomplished today. But we have to accomplish this by the weekend. So that's a lot more. I hope you guys can put up with me. I'll try to, I hope we can do it all with love and we don't have any of these ridiculous comments about this. But I really don't push so much juicing. I mean, I do like to go in the refrigerator and grab a fresh bottle of grape juice. I do. But fruits are very powerful. As most of you know, if you juice dark-seeded grapes, woo-hoo! You go on a fast with that, you know what power is. So strong. So I recommend eating your fruits and juicing your vegetables. Because of the Homo sapien design, we're not well suited for so much cellulose. So I'm really so much more on eating your fruit and juicing your greens and stuff. But you can juice your fruit if you want. But it's really powerful. No need to, because you're really concentrating power there. Especially if you're a diabetic, I probably wouldn't. Probably just eat them. Because just so much. Thank you so much. We've come time where I have to leave you. I love you. I'm always with you anyway. And thank you so much for all your respect, all your attention, all your time. And I can't wait to give you each one, when I meet you, a big hug. I love you all. and you all have a wonderful day. And I'll see you just as soon as I can, and maybe we'll catch up here. When I get caught up, I plan to do some nice things for you here with this site. More involvement with cases, because after all, it's going to come down to protocols and cases. What do you do when you have this case? So we're making it nice. And someone told me you guys had set up a Facebook, and you're putting all this in sequence. Oh, I love you guys for that. I tell you what, I need your help. I need your help to get out to more people and to help us put together a powerful health club, or whatever we are. We want to be a force to be reckoned with, and a force of God to be reckoned with. And you guys are really incredible. JG, Lion Man, Rio. I've got your blood work, Rio, so I'm going to be looking at that next, and then I'll try to have them give you a call on that. But it didn't look that bad to me. I just scanned it real quick. So anyway, I love you all. We'll see you later, and thanks so much.